presents a new and innovative radio program, Health Vibes. Health Vibes. Every Wednesday morning on Q95 FM. Health Vibes. Hosted by Carlton Lando and Pearl Fontaine Butler. Health Vibes from 10:15 to 11 a.m. It's not just your average talk show. It's appealing and educational with a bit of humor. Real vibes on your health. Now that's the vibe. Health Vibes on Q95 every Wednesday from 10:15 to 11 a.m. with Pearl and Carlton. Tune in.
Welcome to Health Vibes, Dominica's most foremost program on health, medicine, nutrition, and wellness, featuring the latest news on conventional and alternative medicine and health care. Now, here's your host, Carlton Lando, and co-host, Pearl Fontaine Butler.
Good morning to you. It is a beautiful day just after the Christmas break. I know many of you are still stuffed from the ham and the turkey and the wines and all of that fruitcake. Maybe now is the time to really do a little jogging, even if it's raining, to get that body back and moving. But we are really happy to be connecting with you on another episode of Health Vibes. We pray that all of you are safe and sound. Even at this time, our hearts and prayers go out to the many families in the Silver Lake area. We all woke up to very dreadful news of what transpired, and our thoughts and prayers are truly with all the victims and the victims' family at this time. We know that we serve a wonderful, great God who is going to be, who is the all supreme provider, and he will provide all of their needs, even at this time of anguish and pain, and at this time. Pearl, good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Carlton. Good morning, Dominica.
I sound like a preacher?
I'm telling you, I said, wow, he's off to a great start this morning. But yes,
Pearl, did you recognize anything different about me?
You have new glasses. Is that new glasses? Listen, I hit the nail on the head. Yes, they look really.
Do I look
really,
like a
really
professor
nice.
In them?
Of course. You always look very smart anyway. Always very smart. So a pleasant good morning to all of our listeners. You know that today is a special show because it's our last show of the year. And, we just want to take the time to kind of, give our thanks to all of you for making Health Vibes exactly what it is. And it's your show. Carlton always says, this is your show. This is your show. And, without you, we couldn't have done it this year. And
I'm telling you.
While we were thinking of what show we were going to have today, we kind of went through all the programs that we did this year. And I mean, because of you, they were so wonderful. I mean, I learned a lot from some of the contributions of our callers.
Yes.
So,
so Pearl, I mean, when we sat last week, it was really busy for both of us, but we said, but what can we do this week, the last show of the year, to, kind of give you an introspection, to give you a sense of calmness, a sense of reflection towards 2017. And we thought of maybe, looking at success. How can I become more successful in my life? And not merely, a lot of times when we think of success, we equate it to financial success, but we want to broaden that concept a bit more today and give you some pointers as to how you can make yourself almost optimized in your external successes and your internal successes.
And we'll also be talking about how you can keep those resolutions that you make. We've narrowed thousands of we've narrowed down 3 resolutions for the year that we can assist you in, and we want to hear from you over the course of 2017 to kind of just get your feedback on how you're doing, because we expect to hear from you.
Yes, I think we have a call already. Good morning, caller.
Season's greetings to you and yours.
Good morning, my friend.
I had a feeling
from the lovely island of Barbados.
Thank
Yes,
you
I
for
agree with
calling
you. It's a
us.
lovely island. How are you, my friend?
I am thankful for life this morning.
Uh-huh.
You know, when I hear the song Emella or Barbara Jones saying, "Thank you, Lord, for your blessings on me,"
Yes.
I have to give God all the thanks and the praise.
Excellent.
Through the Christmas holiday, I lost a few acquaintances, schoolmates, and
Wow.
acquaintances. So, you know, looking back at my life and my sickness, I thank God that He gave me the opportunity this morning again
Yes.
that I can call. And I just want to thank you all for, you know, entertaining me when I call,
Yes.
and to the manager of the radio station, especially Matt,
Yes.
who, you know, always appreciative of me calling.
Yes.
And to my friends there in Dominica who really appreciate me, like they say, Amy, who gave me the opportunity. I wanted to see Dominica for years. And they gave me the opportunity to see Dominica. And I met some lovely friends like Earl Edwards and his family.
Yes.
And Maria Pascal and Daddy Tan and me, Mom Tan and Daddy's son. And, you know, all those persons who took me into their home where I was there.
Yes.
Thank you all very, very much. Sorry
Yes.
I couldn't be there for Christmas, but surgery had me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to recuperate, but it's real painful.
Yeah,
Very
just take it
painful.
one day at a time, you know?
Yeah, some days it's
Yes.
very uncomfortable. Well, I had the opportunity to go in Queen's Park. I guess you probably see it on your thing. I made the trip out to see, because I love to see Barbados Royal Police Force Band.
Mm-hmm.
And Promise the Gospel Group. That is my band. So I promise them every year. I'm a person, I love to contribute and to give. And I promise every year to help Tim sell his CDs. So I went and I sat down with everybody in the nurseries and dressed up fancy, but I had to keep my fancy dress.
Yes.
And I sat down and I got some CDs sold. So I
Yes.
just want to thank you all, and I
Thank
want to
you.
wish Dominica,
Yes.
you and your family, Jollies, well, I know you all felt very bad for Christmas because the head
Yes.
is the house and your company is gone, but I know he's smiling down on you all,
Yes.
and I hope that you all will be continued just like him, a very humble person, and to me, I say it in you.
Thank
And when
you.
I went there with Maria to get some things, and they was very friendly to me.
Yes.
So you and his children, I hope you all lead the way in kindness to people just like how Mr. Jolly was.
Yes.
And I wish you and your family, your friends, and Pearl, I thank you very much. I wish you and your family and your love each other you're always speaking about.
Thank you.
All the best. And I want to wish Dominica and all my friends a blessed, healthy, peaceful, be kind to each other and stop bickering among each other. Be kind.
Thank you.
2017, I hope to see you all soon if God's willing, because I don't know what tomorrow holds.
Thank
So
you.
thank you all very much for everything and for entertaining me. God
Thank
bless you
you.
all, and God bless Dominica.
You're welcome.
You too. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
for always calling.
You know, Pearl, I was asking, you know, I was asking, I was with some people and we were talking, and it would seem that many people felt that 2016 was a very difficult year. There were many people who were left really, really sad. There were many sudden deaths this year. There were many accidental deaths this year. Many of our young people perished this year. And we know that Christmas was very tough for many people at this time. And, you know, we just want to remember those people who have had losses, particularly a loss of a loved one during 2016. Some people, you know, lost their homes through fires, disasters, and they're still struggling as to find themselves where they were, you know. And so we want to, at this time, also empathize with your situation and to lend support to you. You know, in whether it's just by what we say would give you the strength and the fortitude to continue to press on. That it's not our strength, but really the strength of our Savior that basically gives us that endurance to continue to move on. Because if really and truly we have to rely on our strengths, most of us would perish. Most of us would not have the endurance to continue.
Very true. That's
and
very
so in spite of your situation right now and how you might be feeling, just remember that God does all things well.
You know, I agree with what you're saying. However, in spite of all of that, we always have to be thankful, because there's always something to be grateful for and something to be thankful for. You know, some of us have our eyes, our legs, our limbs. I mean, we have life. Just the mere fact that we have life and that we're able to see another day. Life is a gift, and we always have to be grateful and thankful despite what life throws at us.
Yeah.
And so the saying goes, when you're given lemons, make a lemonade. You know, it's not always going to be how we want it to be, or, you know, what we expect. You know, there's sometimes, some mornings I wake up and I say, well, what's going to happen today? You know, but we have to be positive. We have to think positively. We really do. So, you know, back to our topic of New Year's resolutions and finding the success. Before we even get to the resolutions, the first thing is to identify your passion. What is your passion? A lot of us
I really
get up
like that.
every day we go to work, but it's not our passion. We work because, you know, it provides us with an income, or we have to support ourselves, pay our mortgages, you know, put food on the table for our families. But what is your passion? You know, as children, we grow and we always have these dreams.
Yes.
And then at some point along the way, life really hits us. And we say, wow, okay, we're not in our parents' homes anymore. We've got to survive.
Yes.
And it's almost as if, you know, things that we do are survival mechanisms. But what is your passion? Deep down, there's a passion for something. What is that? You have to identify your passion.
And I really like how you put that, because really and truly, when you do find your passion, money is not your motivator anymore.
No, right? It's not.
It's not.
It's not. You're doing what you love. And it's almost like sometimes you can do what you love for free.
Yes, that's it.
It's for me, okay, so I give you an example. For me, the skill of being a makeup artist is a gift. I always say it's a gift from God, because my gift continues to make room for me no matter where I go. And it has become a passion of mine to the point where I just love seeing the transformation.
Yes.
So there are times when I may tell a client, you know what, it's okay. I just love the gratification of the person looking in the mirror and saying, wow, is that me?
Yes.
Like, this is completely different from what I came here looking like. And that to me is where your passion lies. There's nothing greater than that.
I think I would share the same, almost similar sentiment. I mean, many people who know me and have dealt with me professionally have always said to me, why don't you become a medical doctor? You're so great, you're so good at your work. And I've always said, sadly, I did not want to be a medical doctor. It just wasn't my passion, you know, and even if I truly enjoy being a pharmacist, I really enjoy it. And I've always said to people, if every good pharmacist leaves and become a medical doctor, what then do we have in that profession? And so, again, it's what you love. What do you believe is your calling, and how do you use your calling to effect change into your society, to effect change into somebody else? What type of legacy will you use your calling, your purpose for? And I think that's one of the things. I oftentimes it saddens me when I drive through certain communities and you see, you know, groups of people some early mornings drunken with alcohol and so forth, and you wonder, you know, have they thought of their own purpose? Is this what they would have wanted their life to be each day? You know, that type of, you know, spectacle, so to speak.
Of course not, but their zeal and their zest for life, they've given up on that.
Yes.
Something happened along the way that's caused them to just think, you know, what's the point? Is it worth it? But it is so worth it when you continue to persevere.
Right.
And you know, as long as you pray and as long as you have God, listen, there's nothing that you cannot do.
So Pearl, I really like how you said that. So the first thing you want to do is, again, identify your passion. The second thing, and that's external successes. Make a list of your goals and what you might do to achieve them. So it's important. Sometimes what I always say to, even for myself, it's important to do self-auditing. And I think it's something that we like to audit others and say, well, this person is not good at this person doesn't dress well, this person why is this person in this job? And we don't take time to audit ourselves. And so it's important to do so. And so whether you want to do it monthly, whether you want to do it fortnightly, whether you want to do it quarterly, you audit yourself. What did I accomplish these past 3 months? What did I do that I could have done better? What did I engage in that I should not have? And how do I protect myself from, going down this road? My associate, the type of friends that I had, the setting that I found myself in, was it a healthy environment that brought solace and strength to me? Or did it take away from me? And so that's why it's important to do those self-auditing. When you do so, you are empowering yourself, because what you're doing is objectifying, your own personality, your own lifehood. You're trying to look at within yourself and actually plucking out the things that are not supposed to be there and putting in the things that you believe needs to be there.
I like the whole aspect of self-auditing, introspection, retrospection. It's great to do some self-evaluations. We must do that. So when you're making a list of your goals, also look at some of the habits that you want to get rid of as well. It's not just about moving forward, because sometimes we can't exactly move forward if we have so many bad habits. Like, for instance, procrastination is one of them. And this is one of the resolutions that a lot of people want to change, right? They make their list of goals, and procrastination is one of the things that they want to get help with. All right. And so this is one of the areas that we've chosen to speak on today. So procrastination is one of the biggest barriers that keeps most people from reaching their goals. And this is exactly what we're talking about.
True.
So you may make a list of the goals that you have, but you may have the habit of procrastination.
Yeah, it can be tomorrow. It will be tomorrow.
And it's like an oxymoron, right?
Yes.
So you say, okay, I'm going to do this. And every day you come to do it, you procrastinate.
Yes.
So I did some amazing research, and I found this thing, because sometimes I do procrastinate on certain things, right? And so there was this one project that I needed to get done, and I kept saying, I'll get to it. I kept having this thing about this project, right? So finally, I did my research, and I came up with this 2-minute rule. Okay, this 2-minute rule, and it's so incredible. So most tasks that we procrastinate on aren't actually difficult to do, but we're telling ourselves that they're difficult to do. Okay, so I know I'm speaking to someone when I say you have the talent and the skills to accomplish any task. I'm talking to somebody who's listening to us right now. There's this 2-minute rule that I was researching. So if it takes you 2 minutes or less, do it now. Don't wait until later. It's that simple.
I like that.
So some things that you think are going to take you forever, you know that you can do it in 2 minutes. Just do it. So the 2-minute rule works for big goals as well as small goals. And once you start doing something, it's easier to continue doing it. So I love the 2-minute rule because it embraces the idea that all sorts of good things happen once you get started.
Yes.
And it's always just about getting started. So I'll give you an example. So you want to become a better writer. Just write one sentence, and you'll often find yourself writing for an hour.
That's true.
If you want to eat healthier, you just eat one piece of fruit, and you often find yourself inspired to make a healthy salad as well. If you want to make reading a habit, just read the first page of a new book. And before you know it, the first 3 chapters have flown by.
Yes.
It's that's simple. So that's a 2-minute rule. So this is going to help you with your procrastination, because I'm telling you, I've tried it and it's helped me for sure. So anything that I think, you know what, I can just do this. Let me just do it now. Usually I just get it all done. And sometimes I'm there for 2-3 hours, right? And so we usually think that we don't have the time to do stuff, but we really do if we sit to just make the time. So make a list of your goals and what you might do to achieve them. But also make a mental note of the things that bar you from achieving them, the barriers.
Right. I remember reading a book that said procrastination is the thief of time.
Hallelujah.
You know, it just steals away. And when you don't think that you have so much time, it has just run off on you.
And listen,
you know?
this 2-minute rule helps you
Yes.
to be so productive because you find that, okay, you know what, I have so many other things to do, I don't have time. And then you realize after time has gone by, you've wasted so much time doing absolutely
Still
nothing.
Yes.
So if it's less than 2 minutes, just get it done. Just get it done. So the third external success is to live purposefully. And I like this because sometimes we don't live purposefully. And I'll give you an example of how many of us say to ourselves, okay, we're cleaning and we have to go into the cupboard in the kitchen for something. And when we get to the cupboard, we say, Boje, what did I come there for now again? That is not purposeful living.
Yeah.
Because your mind is so preoccupied with all kinds of things, you forget. You just completely forget. We have to live purposefully. We have to live intentionally. I'm going to do this. I'm going to live better. I'm going to be kind. And listen, every day, every new day that we get as a gift is a day to be better. It's an opportunity for us to say, you know what, I didn't get this right yesterday. Don't be so hard on yourself. Say, you know what, I'm going to use tomorrow to live even more purposefully.
Right. Another thing that, you know, as we're talking about purposeful living is, you know, we many times we use the banner that, oh, that's how I am. Oh, my mother was like that, and it's, you know, that's how we behave. And so people say to you, oh, you're too rough, man, you know, you need to calm down a bit. Oh, that's how I am. That's how, you know, that and so you basically stigmatizing yourself, you're basically defining yourself as such. This is the confessions that you make every day, and it's
Right.
going to bring that manifestation, that aggression, that, you know, so it's
That's
so something
exactly
you
right.
have to really say, well, yes, maybe some members of my family have been that way, but I'm not going to be that way.
It's basically saying I am not open to change.
Yes.
I am not open to
Yes.
transforming. I am not open to being
Yes.
flexible. And you know what? The world is ever evolving. We have to change. We have to change. We must. So the fourth external success is be educated.
And I before you elaborate, I really want to say that you can have education and not be educated.
Oh, Carlton, listen here. Oh yes, that's very true. That's very true. You can have 5 master's degree and
Not be
it mean nothing.
Right. So being educated is a process. It's an everyday process.
And I like that. And
Yes.
I really appreciate
so
that.
irrespective of what level you think you are, you need to be educated every day.
That's right. You're never too old to learn.
Because
This is
there
it.
must be something that Pearl that you may say to me today that I'm like, wow, I never thought of that.
And likewise. And you okay, so here's one of the things that I like to do. If I meet 3 people in a day, or I have conversations with 3 different people, I try to say to myself, take something from this that you can learn. Because guaranteed there's always something to learn. There is always something to learn, and every day we should be learning different things.
Right.
We really should be, from our friendships, from our
Right.
careers, from our jobs, from our supervisors, whatever it is. Just on a simple walk, learn something different.
The question is, what are we learning? You know, and so we have to ask ourselves that question within the past months and weeks and years. What have we concentrated ourselves in learning? Have we learned more bad than good? And that's where the self-auditing comes in. You know, have we learned to the skill of success in such a way that it's impacting others, rather than we've learned to be selfish? That, you know, it's all about me. I did this. It's because of me it happened, you know, or is it about us? Is it because, well, Pearl and I worked together to accomplish this?
Right,
You know,
right.
and, you know, that's how the show has grown. It's not about Carlton show or Pearl show.
That's right,
You know,
that's
it's the 2 of us coming together, you know, with our audience to make the show a success. So with education, it encompasses even, you know, shedding that selfishness out, you know, and making, you know, everything more collective.
We're not saying that you should not go out there and get an education or get a degree. but it's what you do with it also.
Right.
So I have a skill, and I am so open to teaching
Right.
anybody who wants to
Yes,
learn.
yes.
And I've always learned that you can never truly be successful if you don't share your knowledge.
I agree with that 100%.
This is just it. So everybody who like cook, I love one of my aunts who's a very good cook, Auntie Hermina, and she always listens, right? And if I go to her and I say, Auntie Hermina, how do you make this? She's always so willing to say, okay, Pearl, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that, you do. Oh, I love it, right?
Right.
And she's never selfish. So some cooks may say, boy, I'm not going to give you my recipe, not today. But she's always so very open, and this is why she's very successful today. And she has such a great personality,
Yes.
to go with it. So that always helps. So be
But-
educated, but also have a great.
Yeah, and then it comes back to the
Personality.
point of, you look at a classroom, you look at a single teacher who is teaching about 26 students. She's teaching every day. She's impacting. She doesn't recognize who is going to be the doctor, the lawyer, the successful farmer, the successful mechanic. And out of that 26, 15 years down the line, she's seeing the products of what she impacted. If she had to be selfish and held the mathematics for herself and the English for herself and the grammar for herself, what would have happened to the
Right.
26
That's
students? So it's just an example,
Yeah.
So even at the home, you're a parent, teach your children stuff. I always say to my boy, when you get up on the sofa or the chair, you turn back and you fix it back. So you learn those things. You go to somebody's home, you
do
sat
the
down for
same thing.
30 minutes, you live in, you turn back, you look at the sofa, and you fix it back the way that you met it. So those are social graces that you learn along the way. You go to use the washroom, you think some pee got on the seat, take tissue, you wipe it, you flush.
It's
you wash
common
your hands.
courtesy.
These are, so you don't wait for the next person to come and do it. And this is so many ways that you can educate, educate your people.
I love that you said that, because that was one of the things that my mother had drilled into me. Pearlie, always be considerate. Always be considerate. You get out of the shower, you notice that the mat is there, dry your feet, then step out.
That's
Don't
it.
just step out and just let all the water drain
in
on
the
the mat.
mat.
What about the next person who
Right.
comes over?
I have a problem with that.
So those are our pet peeves. So be
Really true,
educated and
yes.
and listen. There's always something to learn. Even just simply. When you're walking down the street, you happen to kind of bump into somebody. There's always just something, and it can be very simple. There's
Yeah.
just always something to learn.
Yeah,
There's
beautiful
just always
dress.
something to learn. Absolutely,
Fits
Always
you good.
Right, giving a compliment. It's just always something
Her
to
day
learn.
is changed. Right.
Exactly.
So, Pearl, we've gotten to number 5, which is a tough one for many, many people.
Many people.
Many people.
Many people. And that is to manage your finances. A lot of us were never taught to do that. And
That's
that
true.
goes back to being educated. You can also teach yourself. So there are many things that we don't necessarily learn, but everybody has a great mind, and everybody should be curious in the sense, how can I learn to be better, even in my finances?
What
So-
can I afford and what can't I
Hello.
not afford?
So let's not live beyond our
Right.
means.
Do I need to go on a vacation out of Dominica every year? Do I need this huge elaborate wedding? Is it a must? Or am I stretching myself? I just read actually an article from Jamaica where this lady was supposed to get married, I think Christmas Eve, and she committed suicide 2 days before her wedding. And she left a note saying that she had serious financial problems. And that is sad. So maybe what happened, she stretched herself so much and then she became overwhelmed and then
She snapped.
took some poison and they made her dead. She called her daughter at school and said that mommy loves you very much but mommy's leaving, and they found her dead. So it's important as well that, and I know there have been so much talk about financial wellness, that if we don't, utilize our resources well, then it can affect our mental health later on. We can die very poor because we never saved anything, and, things can really happen.
Oh, one of my aunts said to me 2 things that I will tell you when it comes to money. Never starve yourself, and always treat yourself to something. This is it. It doesn't have to be every day, but always eat well, no matter what you make, but save.
Yes.
Eat well and be good to yourself. And so I would give you that advice.
Yes.
You know, just I mean, you save, but don't starve yourself. Eat
And
well,
I
eat
think, Pearl, the
healthy.
other thing too we want to be cognizant of as well is that I work in marketing, so I can understand. It's businesses have their responsibility to advertise. They can have all the great deals, but you have to ask yourself, you know, is this deal? Do I need this deal?
Do I need it?
You know, is this deal for me at this point in time? So they have their purpose and they have their responsibilities to advertise, but it's another thing that, you know, do you have to capitalize on everything that comes and you hear on the media?
Yeah,
You know, and
it's true.
sometimes we don't have that gauge. We don't have that discipline to say, well, no, I really don't. I have a smartphone. It's working well. I mean, why do I need to have a whatever, you know, for $3,000 when my phone is working well and it basically has the very same function like the newer one?
Right,
You know, and so
exactly,
these are
exactly.
things
Do
that
you need
we
it?
have to, you know, I was speaking to someone, I was saying these days, I mean, you want a serious loan, whether it's for a vehicle, whether it's for to build your house, you know, they give you all these credit reports to go to all these places, Fast Cash, Courts, Astafans, all these places, and what they're looking at is your financial responsibility and how prudent you are. So if you have debts all over the place, how you expect to get a mortgage? You know?
That's very true. You know, many years ago, I sat in a Bally's Total Fitness conference room. This is when Bally's Total Fitness was a very huge corporation in New York. And one of the things that they taught me, which I will never forget in this training session, was that a need
It's different from a want.
is emotional, whereas a need is logical, where a want is emotional. So I want the swimsuit because but do you need it? So the need is more logical,
Yeah.
whereas the want is emotional.
I like that.
And this was how they taught you to approach clients. So if I saw this woman who just came in, who just had a baby, but wanted to shed the weight, or, you know, health concerns, her need for this membership, for this gym membership, was logical because she had this condition and she
Yes.
needed to lose weight, otherwise she could potentially not be here to look after her
Yes.
child, right? So that was logical. A want would be, you know what, I want to get this gym membership because I want to get my body right for carnival.
Yeah.
That's just a want. There's
That's it.
no logic there,
Right.
right? But we advocate for you to be healthy.
Yes.
But here was the other thing that I found difficulty in. This is a new mother. She barely is working. She's not working. How is she going to pay for this membership? But they also taught you to use psychology as well. So, I mean, listen, and this has always stayed with me, that a need is logical. Really think about it. Break it down. Like, so for instance, for me this year, one of the things that I needed was a journal to write down everything, like obviously my meetings, whatever I'm going to do. So that was logical because I need to be able to see. It took me almost 2 hours to find the perfect one that spoke about gratitude. 3 things I'm grateful for the day. This is something new that I'm incorporating. That was logical for me to have this, to be able to plan out my year for next year. Was I going to buy a Louis Vuitton journal? No, because that would just be something, oh my God, it's nice, I want it for the name. But no, I got
Right.
something that I needed. So we really have to look at the difference between the need and the logic. And when you do that, between the need and the want, and when you do that, you find that half of the things that you thought you needed, that you wanted, you don't really need.
That's really true.
Yeah.
And you recognize, I mean, as we get older, we recognizing more and more. And that, you know, you would hear your elders tell you this, that material things really does not bring happiness. And you don't understand it really, but as you get older, you recognize really and truly that's the truth.
It is.
You
the
may
truth.
have the most expensive stove at your home, but cannot afford food to cook on it. You may have the double door refrigerator, but it's totally empty because you feel that the neighbor needs to see that you have this refrigerator. And so it comes back to the financial prudence.
That's
and
right.
and it just making life simple, but simple, but at the same time manageable.
Right.
That's
right, that's
and I
right.
think that's where many times we make errors, that we feel that more brings you more comfort, and many times it's the reverse.
So having just spoken about managing your finances and looking at whether things are wanted or needed, another resolution that we kind of focused on this year was getting in shape. A lot of people want to get in shape for the new year. They want to start an exercise regime, right? But not even halfway through the year, a week in, they've just kind of given up, right, with this resolution. So losing weight is the top resolution for a lot of people, especially since Carnival is around the corner. And combined with exercise more and staying fit and healthy, it is something that many people wish to attain, but very rarely stick to it. So the trick to finding a workout and diet regime suitable for you is to find ones that are reasonable. And this is the key word here. So programs that are reasonable will give you steady results and will be easy to stick to in the long run. So one of the things that my husband always says is, when somebody wants to work out, they usually look at YouTube videos or quotes with like exercise routines from people who are advanced in their workouts.
Yeah, that's true.
There is no way that you're going to live up to that. So you've got to get to like the beginner stage. Find workouts that are for beginners.
Yes.
Don't look at people who already have glutes, strong hamstrings, strong legs, muscular arms. Don't look for that. Look for the beginning. So that way it's easier to ease into, it's easier to work through, and you're more likely to stick with it.
I agree 100%.
And just to throw this in there, Jolly's Pharmacy can assist you with your exercise goals, right?
Definitely.
Because we have Fit You, and we also have
The
Cardio
Cardio
Jam
Jam.
workouts. So this is something that you don't have to kind of worry about
Right.
for the new year.
And
You want to get
actually,
in
the
shape?
instructor
Seek help.
You can also get your food plans as well. So you tell you what you should be eating at what at what interval of your workout you need to increase your protein, you need to decrease your carbohydrate, X, Y, Z will be able to work with you on such. Pearl, I wanted to get to this one. And it's another one that is very sensitive, and many times it would seem that it's of a challenge to many of us. And that is
yes.
managing your time. We've all heard the saying, time is money. That time waits for no man. We've heard so many phrases relating to time, why it's so vital, why it's so important. And more, it would seem, because of all this commercialization that's happening around us, and even a bit of industrialization, time seems to be dwindling. Like, you get up in the morning and it's like, time you look at your watch, it's 6:15. You have to get the children ready. You have to prepare breakfast. You have to rush out to get to the office for 8 o'clock, and then bam, meetings, and you just recognize, wow, my head is just spinning all day long. Where did the time go? But we need to still take time to breathe, to relax, to find that moment. I was reading a book from the Dalai Lama, who said that time is the essence of life.
But of course, it's a gift from God.
And I felt I love this kind of books. I felt that was like really deep. I was like, what does he mean by time is the essence of life? And he was trying to say that if we really concentrate on the times that we spend doing positive things, we will find deeper meaning in our lives.
Absolutely. But we only do that when we realize time is running out.
Yes. So some people may say, well, there is no God, but when a disease strikes that is malignant, we run on, we call on that so-called, we call on, right, or we find time now to spend with the family, right, and we recognize time is running away. Sometimes we work ourselves all in the 90s in the office and never find time for ourselves, never find time to really relax, to have a good laugh, to really just listen to nature. That's right. Just sometimes it takes a disaster to occur for us to really see the sky, look at the sky and look at the moon and see the stars up there, because all day long is light and everything around us that nobody, we don't pay attention. So I think the how do we manage our time to make to give more meaning to our life is something that we all should really take towards 2017.
But how do we manage our time to be able to manage our finances, to be educated, to live purposefully, to make a list of goals that you want to achieve, to identify your passion? All of the things that we just spoke about boils down to managing your time to be able to do all of these things. All of these things.
Yeah, because many people will say, well, I don't have the time to do that. I don't have the time to.
But if it's important to you, you will make the time. And this is just it. Even
spending time with your children, just hearing them and listening to them and giving them the opportunity to talk.
I always say that, you can be present but not be there.
That's true.
But not be present.
I believe that.
So I could be in the home and not be present to my children, and then use the excuse, but I'm here.
Yes.
No, you've got to interact.
Right.
You've got to do homework. You've got to read. You've got to play. You've got to get on the floor. You've got to get to their level.
Speak their language.
You've got to enjoy them. You've got to speak to them. You've got to play. Listen, it's so important to engage, to engage your children, because guess what? If you don't engage them, the outside world will engage them. And
very true.
You won't be happy with the results of that.
Very, very true. Well said. So we're going to look at some of the internal successes. I know our time is kind of. And the first one says, enjoy the present moment. I mean, sometimes again, we don't give gratification to, we don't give appreciation to our presence while we existing. Do we know? Have we taken time to really think about that? And do we really enjoy our own company? Some of us, we always want a band. We always want people around us. But do we know what it is to have just this quiet moment of solitude and reflection, and focus?
Right.
And so sometimes it's good to have that I moment when you just need to put off the radio, put the cell phones away, put all the gadgets away, and just listen to yourself. Listen to your spirit. Listen to your conscience.
Listen to your breathing. Because a lot of us, shallow breathers. Listen to your breathing. Spend some time. This one is extremely important, because we live in a society where people are always looking at other people. So this one is, don't compare your own life to other people's lives. You are unique and wonderfully made. You need to be focused on you and how you can progress your life. Don't look at the next person. They're not your measuring stick. They're not. You are your own measuring stick. But am I being better than I was yesterday?
That's the question. Nice.
Am I speaking better than I did yesterday? Am I eating healthier than I did yesterday? What am I doing different? Every day is an opportunity for you to be different, for you to be better. You are your own measuring stick. My sister, my younger sister, my elder sister, they're not my measuring sticks, because we have different paths, although we are blood related.
Right. The other one says, count your blessings. And, it's another thing, some of us are so pessimistic. We always on the downside. It's always something gloomy. We can never really have something positive to say about our own existence. And so in 2017, you really want to focus more on being, optimistic, making those affirmations that I am worthy, I am great, I am, a loving person, I'm a humanitarian at heart, I will live a life that will bless others. You need to make those affirmations.
That's right.
Every day. And when you do so, people say to me all the time, I've never seen you angry. You're always smiling, you're always cheerful. And this is what keeps you young. People don't realize that peace, and again from the Dalai Lama, I read that when you have inner peace, it glows.
Oh yeah.
It radiates you. It takes away from your aging process.
But also when you have inner peace, there's no room for stress to
That's
reside.
it.
And that is actually the third and last resolution for the year, to reduce stress. A lot of us walk around so stressed. We don't have time to count our blessings. We don't have time to enjoy our lives. We're constantly embroiled in stress and conflict. We
True.
need to really reduce the stress. And if you cannot avoid the stress, you've got to alter your situation.
Right. Look
You've
at your
got to be able
environment.
to manage where you walk into, who you allow
Your
in your
associates.
environment.
Yes.
You have to. You have to. You really have to. This one is very important, especially as I just
Yes.
mentioned, reducing your stress. Looking after your health, it's so important. We spent an entire year speaking about
Health.
different aspects of health, how you can be better, alternative health, medicinal health. Like, listen, we spent so much time educating you on looking after your health, ways in which to improve. Please take note. Listen to your bodies. Listen to your bodies. Your bodies speak a language that you need to pay attention to.
Right. And the last one we're going to leave with you is create an impacting and uplifting social environment. One of the things that I've always said, God made bins for a reason. He made toilets for a reason. And the reason is to get rid of waste, to bury things. Even the graves, He made them for a reason. And so many times we have to do that self-audit and bury and flush certain things, certain thoughts, certain companions out of our system. And you have to do that. I mean, if we don't, we'll have clutter. We'll have a lot of unhealthy things happening with us and around us. One of my rules I've had for years at my home, I think every person who knows me very well would know that I don't believe in gossip at my home. I just cannot entertain it. I think because I've lived that way for so many years. It's not easy once you come to my house and you begin to say I stop you right away. I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm just going to say that I don't entertain that at my home. It's not comfortable. I don't feel comfortable with that type of spirit in my space, my personal space. So you have to make those kind of those types of things. Some people, you have to leave them on the by the side of the road. They call you, you come over your fence, you give them what they need. Some people, you get them in the yard. Some people, you get them on the porch. Some people, you put them in your house. It's not everybody you have to invite inside of your house. So you want to look at the spirits. You want to look at the type of association, the type of impact that your environment is having on you, and what impact you're having on your environment.
And this goes for your bodies as well.
Yes.
A lot of times we spend a lot of time eating junk. We don't look at the ingredients. We had Dr. Lisa Jolly here talking to us about looking at the labels. We need to find time to detox, to rid ourselves of toxins, as well as our physical space. You go through your clothes. If you haven't worn something for an entire year, declutter your
Yes.
wardrobe. If you have some shoes that are dry rotting, get rid of them.
True.
There's no rule that says, listen, I've had this shoe for 10 years, I'm not going to get rid of it. No, if you haven't worn it, give it to somebody who can use it. It's the same thing with your children's toys. If there are hundreds of broken pieces, get rid of them. Make space for the new. And I've lived by this since I was maybe 13. Every year I decided to declutter. My mother would have to take a bag to the Salvation Army. That was the beginning of a volunteering spirit. Okay, and I've always felt the need to give back. So if there's things that you're not using, declutter your homes, declutter your bodies. Go on a fast. Go on a spiritual fast. If you need to kind of elevate into the third dimension, pray, fast, release, let go. And let's all move into, we've got 3 days left, 4 days left until the new year. That's enough time to do all of that and to focus on living purposefully, to focus on being educated. How am I going to be different? To focus on your passion, to focus on making that list. Start to do it today so that 2017 you can see a productive and purposeful 2017.
And not and you know, don't be afraid to do your self audit. It's very important. It's like your own report card. Try to be as objective as possible, and you would recognize
And be fair.
Yeah, you would
Be fair.
recognize, you know, this is really working. You know, so we're just about out of time. We really want to say to you, you know, that make 2017 a year of success, a year of abundance, a year of goodwill, a year of peace. You know, so many of us, you know, always, you know, seem to be making a deba, so to speak. You know, let us try to, within ourselves, live more peaceful amongst ourselves, among our neighbors, make an impact. You know, try your best to make an impact, a positive impact to your society in 2017.
And I would like to say, focus less on the uncontrollables, the things that you cannot control, the things that you cannot change. Try not to focus on them. Focus on the things that you can change. Give God all the glory. Pray without ceasing, you know, for all the things that you want. Our Father in heaven says He desires to bless us with the desires of our hearts. So we want to leave all of this with you today, and we will see you in 2017. And we've got such a great line of programs, of
Definitely.
shows, topics for next year, and we just look forward to hearing that you've had an awesome new year, that you've got a great list of goals. Call us up in the new year. Let us know what resolutions you made and how we were able to assist you in achieving that. And don't forget the 2-minute rule. This
That's
goes
it.
for everything. This goes for even cleaning up something in your house. It's small goals and big goals. Work towards that.
So we leave you on a beautiful note. I do believe that you've been blessed. Your spirit is awakened, and you are ready and set to face not merely the challenges, but the successes of 2017. I'm your host, Carlton.
And I'm your host, Pearl Fontaine Butler.
Go out and do something positive.
And Happy
Bye-bye.
New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Take care.
You were listening to Health Vibes, a production of Jolly's Pharmacy